Hey everybody, Steve got it pool here, so we're gonna start dropping the liner on the Grotto pool. I've wiped all the sweat off my skin, and I'm gonna try to lift this behemoth of a liner up and over to the center there. I'm hoping that the liner will stick to me, so if you'll forgive me, I'm gonna start. I gotta turn into the Incredible Hulk real quick, okay? Whew. Whew. Okay, we're down. Not gonna lie, I might have been showing off a little bit there, but that's what it's all about, folks. You gotta have fun. You gotta show that you can still do it. That's it. So, if you want to know what's going on right now, basically, we got Joe patching in the bottom of the pool. We got Bob Jones cleaning up. And the man behind the camera is my new helper, Tom, who's managed to, I believe, stay off camera most of the day. So, we're still trying to get him. So, all right, I'm going to pull the liner into place here now. So this is the black slate liner. If you tune into my video titled "We Were Just There to Drain the Pool," in that video you can see my interaction with the homeowner, and she was sharing how she was excited about this liner choice, and I think it's pretty nice too. Just got to make sure my Dr. Pepper is in a safe spot. Duct tape here, Bob? Okay. All right, I'm gonna grab my big red. So what we gotta do here is we gotta get this bottom step put in place, and we want to make sure that this liner on the pocket is right where it needs to be, so that way when we come up over to this next step, everything's lining up. So some of you are probably wondering how the liner gets clipped in, and basically on the back of the liner here, this brownish colored part, that's actually the bead on the liner that they weld on, and then there's a coping track in these stairs that's pre-attached when the pool's built, and you know, it's a little bit different. It's changed a little bit over the years, not much. But back in the day, we used to use these stair rods that you'll still see me do on a few pools, like older pools that were built before the bead receiver part. So now that I got that clipped in, what I want to do is I want to stick my hand in the pocket and find that pocket. And I can tell I got to pull the liner over a little bit. I stick my hand in that pocket and I know that it's right in there. So the end of this liner is in the spot that it needs to be. And now I can start to work over to the other pocket. Now in a perfect world, when I get to the other end, that pocket's right where it needs to be. Sometimes it's a little short. You just basically got to split the difference from side to side. And you know, I'm just gonna say it's very hot today. We're up here in New England. I know all of you in the down in Florida are probably laughing at us. It's about 90 something degrees up here right now, and you know, we're drinking plenty of water, and we're staying hydrated. You know, a big thing in this type of heat, as you all know, if you're not peeing and going to the bathroom during the day, you are not hydrated properly. So okay. We're just checking as we're going. The material is super hot. We call it gooey, is what we call it once the liner gets to this point. So now here I'm going to put my hand in the pocket and see where it is. Believe it or not, it's right where it needs to be. So I'm sure none of you had a doubt in your mind. I did. Alright. So now that we get to the end of this one, we work up to the next step. I'm just going to take my big red and just make sure that this end is in all the way. Okay. Check that pocket one more time. I like it. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Jones handed me a water. I mean, again, this is why everybody loves the guy. There's people on the internet literally saying, thank you, Bob, for doing that for him. I hope, anyway. I hope some of you care about my well-being like that. That was nice, though. Alright, so let's move up to the what we call the middle step now. Now, as you're pulling up, you want to go gentle because you don't want to move the liner so much that it pulls itself out of the track down there on that step. And what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of lift the liner up and get what we can up and over and in the position that it wants to be. And that just kind of makes the install go a little bit better so that you're not tugging and pulling on one area. And just kind of, we're able to kind of just get that in a rough spot. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually start on this seam because this particular pocket here, as we call it pocket, you know, a specific point where the liner needs to be. This is a specific spot where the liner needs to be dead on. And so I'm going to start here a little bit. Okay. Now I'll come to this pocket in here. And I'm going to stretch that in. So what it might do is it might tighten this material up here. And then I'll repeat and I'll go to that pocket over there so that I make sure every pocket's where it needs to be. Okay. So actually, what we got to do here is we have to cut some of this bead off. They ran the bead all the way. But when they built the pool, the bead was only so far. So this is going to be a little bit of open heart surgery type thing. Only the experienced pool installers should attempt this. Never go to do something like this, what I'm about to do, with a dull blade. Always get yourself a brand new knife blade. So that way you're not getting any restrictions on your cut. Blade goes through nice and smooth. Alright, come on over here and try to put yourself in a position, maybe top view, whatever. But so we know that the pocket's right here and basically the track ends here. So my first cut is going to be from here up. Now when I'm doing this, I'm making sure that that liner is out of the way. And I know that I also can leave the cut about 1/4 of an inch away. So it'll actually be about 1/4 of an inch of brown material left here on the liner. So that's where I make my first part of the cut. I just go right through. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that piece off. And we're just going to go nice and slow. This is one of those things that I was talking about earlier, where you fear, what I fear most about a pool guy. This is it right here. I worry I'm going to make a wrong cut. So now that bead's been cut off. And now that won't be felt when they're sitting on the liner. Now when I go to do the grotto, when I go to install the liner in the grotto, I'm gonna have to do that again in the grotto. I've already noticed that. So we're prepared for that. We got a nice sharp blade in the blade there, in the knife. And so it should be a pretty smooth operation in theory. So now we're checking these pockets. They're pretty good. If anything, there was a little bit of material, a little bit extra slack, but like I said, what happens is on these hot summer days, you barely touch this material and you could overstretch it inches. And you know, like I was saying, it is nice to have hot weather when you're installing a liner, but there's a limit, I think, that where it gets a little too hot. All right, so we got our second step in. We're just going to finish doing our second step on this side now. And getting close to actually being done with the stairs here, so I would imagine Joe's going to be pretty much done patching down there really soon. So, you know, we might be able to just kind of keep everything going here, maybe. And you know, I don't know how much footage I'm going to be able to actually get inside the grotto, but I'm sure they'll be able to stand from a distance and kind of zoom in on a couple spots. Looks like Joe's done patching. So that's cue for let's move it along. Okay. Almost there. Remember, the liner was, or the track was pinched in a couple areas, so there might be a couple spots where things slow me down a little bit. But like always, we'll just work through the issues we get dealt with. The better good of the pool game. Just a little tight there. I think it'll push in. I just gotta be gentle. Make sure that it's out of the way. Okay, I'm able to do that. I'm able to really put good firm pressure on that bead right there, only because that material is actually separate from the liner itself. So let's say I accidentally, you know, put a hole in that piece or stretched it a little too much or whatever the case is, it won't matter. The important thing is to make sure that the liner is clipped in properly and all the way so that it doesn't hook. So sometimes when that liner track is just a little too pinched, I'll take my big red there like I did, and I'll just kind of punch the material into that groove a little bit more. And most of the time it works well. Sometimes you gotta spread the track open a little more. See, like right here, we're gonna punch that down a little bit more there. So there we go. It's all in. So we're all clipped in on the stairs now. So now me and Joe are just gonna basically go around and finish clipping in what we can on the top, and then we're gonna be ready to run the liner across the deep end of the pool, install the liner on the grotto, and you know, get the vacs running, and hopefully we can keep this video running all the way till we get vacs going. You know, me and Joe have been doing this a long time, so I feel like we can do it pretty quick. You ever seen that liner track like that, Joe? Yep, the one where it's got the spaces in between, exactly.
It's not the preferred time.
No, Joe, it's not the preferred liner track because the liner unclips out of it sometimes. I'm gonna just pull the material over to me a little bit. Pull all that stuff out on the shallow end there. So that way the liner's roughly where it needs to be. Now what we're going to want to do here while we're doing this is we're going to want to probably leave it unhooked in a couple areas, and we're going to want to bring as much slack of the liner down into the grotto as possible, so that way we're able to make adjustments without fighting with it. And definitely, you know, I was saying in some previous videos how the liner got pinched, or the track got pinched in a lot of areas. There's a lot of areas where the liner's just barely clipping in. Okay. So we're gonna have to retrieve Bob Jones in a little bit, I think, maybe. Whew, it's hot out here. It's a hot. Okay. Let's see. Clip in a few more spots here. Basically, we're going to be waiting for Bob to come back so that he can give us a hand dragging the liner across. I'm sure he just did a run bringing something out to the truck. Yeah, the liner's definitely struggling to get in all the way, no doubt. Oof. Okay. Joe's almost there. I'll start on peeling it. A lot of material over there because of that cove. All right. I'm going to take a stab at it and say that I can run it across, jump over the slide. Oh, Bob's here. Bob, you literally got here at the perfect time. I was sitting here thinking of this masterminded plan to crawl over the slide. I think I'm gonna hop right in the grotto now, and like from there, like I'll go in between the grotto and the slide, and then he can hand it to me. I'll tack it, and then from there I'll just go into the grotto. Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
Well, yeah, it sounds like a plan, but it could go terribly wrong. I just got to make sure that I have my big red. So there'll be some exciting things happening here. Okay. All right, so I'm going to climb up here and get on the other side of this slide here. And they're going to drag it across, and then Bob's going to hand his end to me. And I'll probably have to kind of wait here for a minute or two, but come around the front of the slide if you can with it. Over there by the diving board area is the best spot to go right now. We're working through it. I gotta somehow get into this grotto and hold on to the liner at the same time and not fall in the pool. Are you watching? Okay. I gotta somehow get my arm under there real quick. All right. How many of you thought I was gonna go right there? How many of you thought I was gonna fall? Well, I'm included on that list. All right. We can pop the sunglasses off. All right, Joe, I gotta pull a whole ton of this material there my way.
All right, hold on. We'll go over there.
The liner's probably gonna come unhooked, but at this point it's okay if it does. Okay. All right. We're gonna try to get this liner somewhat in the right spot here. Pull all that material up. And let's see what's going on here and if I'm gonna have to make another. I already know that I'm gonna have to make a couple incisions here, but let's see if I gotta make another one at the very beginning or if it'll just start off nice. And yeah, I think that's gonna start off just nice. I don't have to cut anything initially. All right, I'm gonna ask my camera guy. Bob's having a hard time over there. We'll just wait a second here. Well, you know, this is what happened. I mean, this is us working right now, you know what I mean? If you're able to kind of, let me see the phone right there. If you're able to kind of grab some of that material right here and work and kind of grab it, just start working your way towards that radio. Yeah, just keep sliding over and sliding over. There you go. Good job. Just hold that till Joe can get over to you. Doing good. And we'll just tack it one more time close by in between these two L and W's. Right around there. Alright. Alright, we're good. Me and Alright. Him and I can finish the cove, buddy. Okay. hot. Guys start getting tired. Guys start getting fatigued. Angry when things don't go right. It happens. Alright, is that big red screwdriver right there by you, buddy? Thanks, man. Alright, we're started there. So now I'm just going to kind of keep going around. And hopefully I get this code put in it. What?
I was asking him if I was in the way.
Are you in the way? He's good, right? He's good, right? He's not in your way, right?
No, you need me to help you there? Or
No, we're good here. I'm good on both sides. I do, however, need my knife. My knife that's over by the toolbox. I think it's on top of my trowel or somewhere in that ballpark. And the reason I need my knife is because I need to cut some more of this liner bead off. So, everybody's having a hard time. And I'm not quite sure they understand why I wanted Tom to be recording. I wanted him to kind of learn what's going on. And then we got ourselves into a situation where Tom was needed, and Joe didn't want to be rude on camera, so I stepped in and said something. Thank you for the knife, sir. But don't worry, we'll work through it. All right. So now we're.
that slack seat, can you pull that under, and then I'll try to tuck that in.
Sure. I gotta get this side started over here so that they can kind of work all that material back to where it needs to be. So what I need to do is pull some of it my way, lift it up, work that pocket into where it needs to be. And basically start clipping this liner in. So that's what we're doing now, clipping the liner in. You just do a little bit at a time. And eventually it'll go in. But, you know, doing these conversation codes and grottos and things like that, I mean, my installs are super easy, so. Alright, so I'm seeing it kind of wants to come back over a little bit, so I think I'll pull it over a little. Check that again. I like that. Alright. Alright, we're just going to require a little bit of stretch work. Just kind of, basically I'm trying to get little areas clipped in around the whole part. You know, this isn't one of those things where you would want to start on one end and try to work around like I was explaining with the stairs. You know, you definitely wouldn't want to do that. Let's see where we're at here. Stretch that up a little bit. This was area where the track was pinched a little more than normal. There we go. Okay. Whew, sweat is literally pouring down. Yeah, buddy, I know it may seem like you're not doing anything right now, but you're learning.
Yeah.
Just as well as everybody watching is learning. So keep that in mind. That's right. He says he hopes that everybody that's watching me right now is sitting in the air conditioning. Okay. All right, so I hit my first spot that I gotta cut this bead out. So I think I gotta do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. And again, same thing, just be careful anytime you're doing something like this. And, make sure you know where that blade is at all times. The last thing you want to do right here, right now, on a day like this, is cut a piece of this liner in the wrong spot. Alright, we're just cutting. Gotta go around and cut those. Basically what it is back in the day, you know, this was one of the first conversation codes that, you know, they ever had for doing liners. And so at every panel seam there was a structure support where you could not get the liner track in. So that's basically what's happening. Alright. Yes, I get nervous every single time I do that. Every single time. Yeah, show a little bit of what they're doing. Herb, Joe. Yeah. Don't record Bob. Bob's taking a break. He needs a minute out. It's hot. It's 90-something degrees. Bob's in his 60s. He's done his time. He needs to sit down. I have no problem with that. I have a problem if I need to sit down. I'm not about to do that just yet. We are definitely making sufficient progress. I mean, you've been watching one of the biggest liner installs that you can see, in my opinion. You know, I mean, you go on YouTube and you see liner installs of rectangle pools or Grecian pools. It's rare that you see one like you're seeing now with the Grotto. So, I mean, we don't have many like this, but I think we have another one. I'm pretty sure we have one more Grotto pool out there. Getting a little tired myself if my voice is starting to die down. But just trying to conserve energy when I can. Hopefully my camera guy's giving me some good footage. of everything. I know you can't hear what's going on out there, but oh, you're on me. That's good. I'm sweating my butt off. That liner looks a little bunchy in front of that stair there on that middle step. Let me say something to Joe about that. Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe.
Huh?
The liner looks a little bunchy on that center riser there to your left. You see? Yeah. What do you think's causing that there? No, on the rise on the riser by your left foot.
Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's in right. It's really daggy right there.
Might work out when the vacs are on.
I think with the backs on and water, it could be good.
All right, guys. He said that with the vacs running into some water, that those will come right out. So, but you know, those are questions that as we're installing stuff. I mean, homeowners ask me stuff like that all the time. And I'm always saying, hey, when we hit the vacs and put water in the pool, yeah, that'll go away. Most of the time I'm telling the truth. Sometimes I'm hoping that's the case. Sometimes I'm calling the office, asking if those wrinkles came out. And, yeah. I don't know if you can see the sweat literally just pouring off my face. It's crazy. All right, I got one more thing to cut here, and then I'm gonna be done cooking this in. Joe's already installing vacs, getting ready for suction, and basically I'm gonna shut this video off once we get the vacs running, and you kind of see this liner sitting pretty. So if you're wondering when the end of this video is gonna be, let me just say, if I had to take a rough guess, I would say about 15 minutes, possibly sooner. I don't want to make any guarantees. But I'm excited because I want to get this job done. It's getting late in the day too, so I gotta go home and hopefully take a jump in the pool when I get home. The pool that I just built at my house that I have a few videos of. So if you're watching this for the first time, tune into some of my other videos. I did build a pool at home with my wife, DIY style, and I'm gonna address something here. One of the biggest comments that I have on that video is, why did I title the video "We Installed" when it looks like I'm the only one that was doing anything on that pool? And everybody always forgets that one, editing can make things look different than they actually are. Two, you always need somebody on the patio cleaning up after you, grabbing things that you need, going to the truck, walking back and forth from the truck. And that's what she was doing. All right, I'm going to clip this in. I think I'm going to have to tell Joe to pull some of this material back his way, though. Hey, Joe. I got 4 inches of material I got to send back your way. All right, so Joe's gonna have to work on a way to pull that back that way. Okay, I'm gonna go around, get the rest of this cove in the best we can. There's definitely a few areas that were pinched that I showed in a previous video. And it's struggling to go back in a few spots too. So
there more that's going to be pulled, Steve?
What you have right there is it. Yeah, I'm not going to be giving you any more than that. He wanted to know if the amount of slack I gave him to work out was going to be it, or if there was going to be more. So, definitely having a hard time getting this thing to fit in the track in these certain areas, but what I'll do is once we get the backs running, we can come back with our big red and kind of send that bead home gently. We wouldn't want to be wrenching on it the way I was with the stairs, but that looks good there. So buddy, you're gonna have to find a new spot to live.
Okay.
And Joe's gonna come over here and finish clipping in this little part. All right. So while they're trying to work out that, I'm trying to work stuff out in here. Almost there. Yeah, it's a little bunchy, but not bad. It's hard to move the liner around in the track because the track's pinched, so. But we're getting it. Just keep working it. Okay, got that in. This little spot. I need my screwdriver. Yeah, everybody's doing a really good job. Everybody's hot. Everybody's sweaty. And important thing. Everybody's staying hydrated, so that's the important thing. I'm going to be hopping out of this grotto in a second here, and I'm going to finish helping everybody there. That'll be good there. All right, I got the grotto all clipped in as best I can, so now I'm going to hop out and finish clipping the liner in the deep end here. Here, Bob, can I hand this to you? Yeah, we got to pull a lot of this material over too. That'll work.
Springfield Classic Rock.
That should work. Wow, this patio's pretty hot, huh?
Yeah. See it over there.
I'm too lazy to get my knee pads. I'd rather deal with the pain than just go get my knee pads. I don't see him anywhere close, but I do see a shirt. My knee pads were under my shirt. I could have just grabbed them right there. Could have just grabbed my knee pads. But All right. Back going in. This is literally the last little bit of liner to be clipped in. And then it showed, is this where we're putting it back?
Yeah.
Let's go right here with it. So it's out of the way of these low walls.
Yep.
Scale of 1 to 10, Bob. How hot are you right now? Up there? Yeah, we'll go right there. I like that spot.
Out of the way of the low wall.
Yeah. It's in between the low wall and the light. Adjacent. I just brought one over. All right, these are our vacuum hoses. I love these ones with the PVC. They're kind of flat and they got holes drilled on the bottom of them. And doesn't pinch the liner. You just kind of want to lift it up and make sure it's in the right spot.
I'm gonna hold that now. I think I got it.
Okay. Well, I got my vac put in a little quicker than them. I don't know what the deal is there, but I was still in the cove when they were putting that back in. Okay. That's taped enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in the cove again to make sure that the liner's kicked into the cove properly. Joe will go around, he'll kick the wrinkles in the shallow end, and once we're wrinkle free, we'll shut this video down. I'm ready in here. Here we go, folks. Watch Joe. All right, vacs are on. Joe's going around. He's kicking all the wrinkles out in the shallow end. Once we get everything to a nice, comfortable spot, and we think everything's going good, we'll fire up the second vacuum, and then the suction will increase that much more. And you know, from what I'm seeing from in here in the grotto, you know, Joe's running around. He's getting all the wrinkles. Joe, center of the walk up there came right out like magic. Did you see that? Great. All right, we got a huge section of the liner unclipped that I'm gonna come running over to get in real quick. My camera guy doesn't see it, but I see it. So basically I gotta, with all my strength, lift this liner up. There's about 4 feet of liner here that didn't get clipped in. You know, and so in one of my other videos, you know, I always say the first thing that you do after you hit vacs is look at the perimeter of the liner with the pool and make sure that the liner's clipped in all the way so you don't miss stuff like this. Okay. That vac's on? Yep. So now everything will suck in a little bit better. Joe will go around, kind of kick everything in. He'll work those wrinkles out on the stairs real good. I'll go into the cuddle cove and I'll work everything over here. Tom, come with me over here. All right, Tom, let me look at the phone there. All right, so we've been doing this video for about 50 minutes here. I'm drenched in sweat. I'm in my bathing suit. We got this liner with the Grotto installed today, and we had the help from Bob Jones. We had the help from Joe. The homeowner was great, got us pizza, and we're gonna sign off now. We're gonna wrap things up. We're gonna put all our light rings back on. We're going to put at the low walls, the main drains. We're gonna hydrate, and we'll probably be out of here in a couple hours on our way home. And I'll be editing videos all night long. So Steve got a pool. Thanks for watching.